Alrighty, that brings us to Broad Topics, starting with the NWA World Championship program for the month, which is Abyss versus Raven. June 24th, Impact. We get a big return, Liam.
Sorry. What, I went down the wrong way?
I'm taking it anymore.
I didn't think you were going to throw it at me so quickly. The water was in my throat as you said
it. You were like, I have some time. He's going to do like 2 or 3 minutes of preamble. He's going to start talking about the first segment on TV. I won't be thrown to for a few seconds. No!
Hey, what's up? What's going on, Garrett?
James Mitchell.
Yeah, what about him?
He's back.
Oh, yeah. Good. I'm glad he's back. He's back for his most famous role ever.
Yes, so this is the beginnings of James Mitchell and Abyss being an actual act together. James Mitchell is backstage on the June 24th Impact, and he's talking to Abyss. He points out that Abyss has never gotten his one-on-one title match, despite earning it twice. And then Mitchell says, like, all you're missing is, like, the politicking and all the backstage stuff and all, like, the greasing the palms. I can do that. I just need a chance. And Abyss looked a little skeptical.
He doesn't know whether to trust the sinister minister or not.
Yeah, the man who is the literal embodiment of the devil. He does not know whether or not to. It's like, should I put my fate in his hands?
Even Abyss is like,
Abyss, known follower in the history of TNA, so it's like,
Yeah. Doesn't take much for Abyss to get on your side.
Though we do know that Raven accidentally summoned Abyss from hell.
Yep.
That is established lore.
That we made up.
And in TNA lore, that James Mitchell is the official, like, ruler of hell.
Yes.
So, that adds up.
Yeah, sure. No matter how it got there, I'm just glad we're here.
Yeah, even in my head, I thought the James Mitchell Abyss stuff was earlier in the year, and like, they took so long to get there, and it's such an obvious pair. It's a pairing they teased as well. If you remember, was it the build up to either Victory Road or Turning Point? There was like James Mitchell doing the in the rafters thing, doing the spooky voice, shouting at, I think it was even Raven or Monty at that time as well. And it's just like, you had the idea, and it's the right idea. It's a pairing that really works, and it took you so long to pull the trigger on it.
Well, they thought one of them was leaving, so...
Yeah, and James Mitchell also, like, because he did a promo for One Night Stand that was apparently cut, so he didn't even make it on One Night Stand.
Which old TNA people were banned from.
Yeah, and I think he was out of contract, so maybe they were like, oh, he's flirting with WWE, now we've got to bring him back.
It worked. See, he is a master politicker.
Yeah, he's like, I'll do one promo for One Night Stand that'll get cut, and that'll get me the best managerial stint of my career.
He should be doing more.
He's on Impact next week.
He's also, like, does NWA stuff, I think. I think he's Max the Impaler's manager, which is a good fit.
Yeah, because he managed them at Victory Road last year when they faced Jordan Grace. Yeah.
I like Max. I think Max is really good.
So James Mitchell propositioned Abyss to be his manager, and then later in the show, Raven comes out to do his big NWA World Champion promo. He does some evil poetry, says he fulfilled his destiny, but then James Mitchell comes out, and his first line is like, if you're through it, you're incoherent gibberish.
My favorite thing here is that, like, Raven just gets beat up, and the first thing that went through my head was, Raven has shown more vulnerability in his first day as NWA champion than Jeff Jarrett did his entire run.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett, again, we talked about for a guy who was, like, rooted in Memphis, he was really bad at showing ass while being champion.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas here, Raven is going back and forth with Mitchell. Abyss jumps him from behind. They do a little brawl that ends in a black hole slam that Abyss chokes Raven with the chain as it becomes clear that Abyss and James Mitchell are now in cahoots. You were mentioning on the watch along, I think it's a good point, that it's kind of nice to bring Mitchell back in for a particular straight into a program with Raven, because that's obviously
the guy he hates the most.
Yeah, that's where he was most recently seen, the guy he feuded with most. They had that last man standing match and everything, and now he's back. He's managing the unstoppable juggernaut Abyss to take down Raven's NWA title.
It's a good little full circle moment.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
So, July 1st Impact, Abyss has a kind of a squash match. I guess it's a competitive squash against Sonny Siaki.
Yeah.
Your favorite wrestler to talk about, Sonny Siaki.
Yeah. I'm always talking about Sonny Siaki.
You adore Sonny Siaki.
That's me. Sonny Siaki, #1 stan.
The crowd, for the first time, I believe, does the oh Abyss chant during this match.
Yeah. I've always said that this is a great chant.
So you were super duper skeptical when I pointed out this chant to you while they were doing it during the No Surrender main event. And then, like, 5 minutes later, all you could do was the Abyss, Abyss.
It's just fun to do.
It is. It's a fun chant. Folks in the Impact Zone, they're having themselves a good time.
Just wait till I get the Bentley bounce going.
Well, it's currently the Shane bounce.
The Shane Shuffle.
Ah, no, that's Shira.
I'm doing it. I'm doing the Shane Shuffle right now.
Abyss does like a splash off the middle rope in this TV squash. I'm like, Abyss, what are you doing?
He's trying to get everyone's eyes on him. He's about to have this big pay-per-view main event. Let my man work.
Fair play to him. Abyss wins with a black hole slam. He goes to use the chain after the match, but Apollo steps between Abyss and Siaki. Then Apollo's a fucking idiot who turns his back at Abyss and attacks him. And even Mike Tenay is like, you can't turn your back on Abyss, you fucking dope, you.
I like that Mike Tenay has a willingness to bury the baby faces when they do something exceptionally stupid.
The funnier part is he's also part of the booking committee, so he made him do the stupid thing.
Yeah.
Raven makes the save, hits the Raven effect. He wraps a chain around Abyss's neck and pulls Abyss into a chair in the corner, which is a spot I really like. They do it in the pay-per-view match as well, but it's a cool spot.
I'm just like kind of amped to have a singles match that doesn't have Jeff Jarrett for the title.
Even though he does loom over it. We'll talk about that in a second.
His presence is always there.
Raven challenges Abyss to a dog collar match at the pay-per-view, but adds a stipulation that there can be no surrender. You cannot submit, you cannot tap out, you can only win by pinfall, so suffering can only end when Raven allows it.
Which is like very funny because it's the complete opposite sort of justification that they use for I Quit matches. It's like, there'll be no easy win. I can't just pin you. I'm gonna have to make you quit.
That is funny. Yeah, it's like, no, never mind any of this quitter shit. You can't quit. You can only be beaten.
To respect TNA law, they should have made all I Quit matches surrender matches.
Yeah, no surrender and surrender. There should be a surrender pay-per-view too.
Yeah, they should do a surrender match on No Surrender.
Yeah. When they announced the dog collar match, Mike Tenay was like, hook them up like dogs?
Which is maybe the best sell for the announcement of a dog collar match ever.
Yeah, he's so enthusiastic about the idea of these two being tied together like dogs.
Dog collar matches rule.
Also, I get why they're called dog collars, because you wear the collar, but like, you don't hook dogs up like that. You don't chain dogs together.
Maybe not in your neighborhood.
Maybe Mike Tenay's neighborhood too, you never know.
That's why he was so surprised.
So yeah, main event of the pay-per-view will be Abyss versus Raven in a no surrender dog collar match at No Surrender. It's both the pay-per-view and the stipulation.
It works out well. Did they ever do another No Surrender match?
No.
Surrender?
I'm trying to think. They probably did another dog collar match, but not a lot of them.
Didn't they do the tag dog collar match?
Which one?
Sorry, I'm thinking of the Barbed Wire Massacre.
Yeah, and they've done some strap matches.
Is this the only dog collar match in TNA history?
Well, it's not the only one. There was one with Vampiro as well.
Oh yeah. That had another stupid name though, didn't it?
That was Blood Gallows Retribution. Was that one?
Yes, of course.
Might have been Hangman's Horror.
Who could possibly tell?
Many stipulations.
But yeah, I think Hangman's Horror, like, the way to win was to throw them over though, wasn't it? And like choke them out.
Yeah, Hangman's Horror was the 4 straps on the corners, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then you had to tie it and hang them, yeah. Which is not really a dog collar match.
So cool.
Oh, they did the 6-man tag dog collar match. You were right. It was a gathering against New Church of Shane Douglas. That was a 6-man tag dog collar match. So there you go.
I knew the images in my head somewhere.
Abyss faced Cassidy Riley on the July 8th Impact.
Killed him.
This is Abyss's 3rd match against Riley this year.
And, you know, we're still waiting for that Riley upset.
I was looking at the cage match, and Abyss in the history of Impact squashes Cassidy Riley 5 times. So we have 2 more to go after this.
Oh, I'm excited. We should make a compilation video.
He does absolutely kill him. Shock treatment, black hole slam. Black hole slams him again. Raven makes the save. Abyss crushed Raven on the post and then hung him over the ropes with a chain again.
And Cassidy Riley looked at this and said, man, Raven's the coolest.
Yeah, so you might think this is just a throwaway squash match to set up Raven with the post match.
You might think that based on the other 4 times.
Yeah, it's just Cassidy Riley, a completely disposable part of this story, completely expendable. Not quite. The next episode of Impact, Mike Tenay is aghast because after the opening match, he gets something in his headset saying, "We're throwing to Cassidy Riley." And Mike Tenay is like, this can't be right. We're going to Cassidy Riley?
I mean, if I was in that position, I would have a similar reaction.
He is just so thrown by the very idea that we're going to hear from Cassidy Riley. Terry Taylor has Cassidy Riley backstage. Riley's like, Raven, thank you for helping me the last week. Yeah, it's nice to see you really care about me. And Terry Taylor, which I did really appreciate, pointed out, was like, this is the dude that broke your fingers once.
And he's like, yeah, they're fucking owned. I loved that.
He introduced me to the pain, and I loved it. And Raven, I'll be here for you.
Is this serotonin?
Not quite. This is more like him having like a disciple.
He's the sick boy.
An unwanted disciple, but a disciple nonetheless. It's a silly angle, but I kind of enjoy the idea that like Raven saved him from getting killed once, and he's like, I fucking love you, and I'm going to devote my life to you.
They should bring Julio back.
It would have been a nice role for Julio.
Julio comes back and goes, you're the world champion now. You're actually cool. I take it all back.
I kind of appreciate that, like, there's 2 go-home promos on the show, one from James Mitchell, one from Raven, and they both kind of hit the same beat. They're both like, I can't believe you do a no-surrender dog collar match, you're going to die. And like, but it's like, Abyss is like, you just dug your own grave, pal. Well, James Mitchell is. Like, you just dug your own grave, I can't believe you put yourself in this match. And Raven's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Because they both think they're gonna murder.
James Mitchell says Abyss will pound on Raven. Pause.
Oh.
Like a judge's gavel.
Oh.
Hard Justice was a couple of months ago, pal. This is no surrender. We're not doing the justice motif.
He's like, but I wasn't on that show.
And then the show ended with Raven cutting a promo being like, Abyss, you're going to beg to say I quit, but you can't. And I'm going to keep beating the shit out of you.
Nice.
So, main event of the pay-per-view. Raven defended the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Abyss in his first title defense in a no-surrender dog collar match.
Oh, Abyss.
This is where those chants were out in force. They were only like the beginnings of the chant for the Siaki match. Now it's like, full-on Abyss chants.
Yeah, we were talking about this during this match, how TNA actually showed a lot of restraint on this show by making this the only full plunder match, and it actually worked because it made it all stand out. And even though there were better in-ring matches on this show, I thought this match kind of rocked. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's just Abyss and Raven doing wacky shit. Raven pulled Abyss's chair into a head in the corner. Raven stapled $1 to Abyss's bleeding head, which is like, it's funny because the staple gun is usually one of the easier gimmicked spots because it makes the noise without you ever having to see the staple. But here they're like, no, we're going to make sure they know that it's a shoot staple gun. You're going to staple $1 to his head.
That's why they do it. You got to respect it.
Raven knee lifted Abyss off the stage through 2 tables. Then as Raven was walking down the ramp, Abyss just pulled on the chain and yanked him off the stage for like the best kind of clumsy fall through a table. It wasn't like the clean, take a back bump. He felt like hip first because he was pulled off the stage. Raven also speared Abyss through a table against the post. And Cassidy Riley came out to help his pal. He's going to help Raven defend it. Oh no, he got chokeslammed through a table.
It was a great bump too. Again, not a clean one that looks like he just died.
Yeah. Raven powerbombed Abyss into tax, but Raven kicked out. Raven kicked out of a black hole slam, which I think makes him the first person in TNA history to do so.
Yeah, and they got a big reaction too.
Yeah, Raven hit Abyss with the Raven effect into thumbtacks to retain the NWA World title. Yeah, really good main event. It's a classic Raven plunder, but Raven's been like on decent form this year, aside from the Dustin Rhodes matches, I guess. But like the Hardy match was great nonsense. The Sean Waltman match was great nonsense. And this is great nonsense.
Yeah, Raven's on a bit of a run.
Just blood and plunder and people falling through tables and chains and black hole slams and thumbtacks. What more could you want from a pay-per-view main event?
You could throw Rhino in there too.